Parliament. So in all democracies, an assembly of elected representatives, they exercise a supreme political authority on behalf of people. Okay, so in India, the National Assembly is called Parliament, and the body of elected representatives at the state level, it is called Legislative Assembly. Maybe the name varies in different countries, but assembly exists in every democracy, and the parliament exercises political authority on behalf of people, okay, in many ways. That is, parliament is a final authority for making law in any country, okay, and it exercises control over those who run the government. So no decision can be taken without the support of the parliament, and it is the that is parliament is the highest forum of discussion and debate on public issues and national policies in any country. Okay, it can seek information about any matter. And in parliament, two houses are there, obviously you know it, isn't it? That is Rajya Sabha, Council of States, and Lok Sabha, that is House of the People. Okay, so the president of India, it is a part of is a part of parliament, although he is not a member of both the houses, that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Okay, so in all democracies, an assembly of elected representatives, they exercises supreme political authority on behalf of the people. And in India, such a national assembly of elected representative is called parliament. So the parliament is the final authority for making laws in any country, and it exercises control over those who run the government. Okay, and the houses of the parliament, it is directly elected by the people, and houses of the people, sorry, okay, houses of the people, that means Lok Sabha. Okay, that is Lok Sabha, it is elected directly by the people, and the real power, that is exercises the real power, and the maximum strength of the house is 552 of 530 members. They are elected from the states and 20 members from the union territories. Okay, so 2 members are nominated by the President of India from the Anglo-Indian community. Okay, and the present membership of Lok Sabha is 545, and of Rajya Sabha, that is the Council of State, it is usually elected indirectly and performs some special functions. So the most common work for the second house is to look after the interest of various states, regions, or federal units. It has not more than 250 members. Okay, and one third of members retires every 2 years. So Rajya Sabha is a permanent body, and 12 of Rajya Sabha members are nominated by the president from persons who have earned distinction in the field of literature, art, and service. Okay, so this is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So if we see the difference between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, then in Lok Sabha, members are directly elected by the voters, that is eligible voters. At Rajya Sabha, the members are elected by the elected members of state legislative assembly, and the period of, then in Lok Sabha, the period of Lok Sabha is 5 years. Yes, and in Rajya Sabha, it is a permanent body, and one third of its member retire every 2 years. Okay, then in Lok Sabha, the maximum strength is 552 members, and in Rajya Sabha, not more than 250 members. Okay, and Lok Sabha is more powerful than Rajya Sabha, and Rajya Sabha is less powerful than the Lok Sabha. Okay, I hope clear everyone till here. Now comes political executive. Okay, that is permanent executive and political executive. So the different level of governments, that is the functionaries, takes the day-to-day decision but do not exercise supreme power on behalf of the people. So these functionaries are called executive because they are in charge of the execution of policies of the government. Okay, and people who are appointed on a long term basis, they are called permanent executive or civil servant. Okay, and in democratic country, executive that is elected by the people for a specific period, it is called a political executive. Okay, so political executive is executive who are elected by the people for a specific period, and like political leaders, prime ministers, okay, council of ministers, and they are answerable to people for all the consequences of all the decisions, and they remain in office only so long as they command the confidence of the majority members of the parliament. Okay, and they are more powerful and they take all the final decisions. And in permanent executive, they are salaried with civil servants who are appointed on a long term basis, and persons working in civil service, that is IAS, IPS and all, and they remain in office even when the ruling party change, and their tenure of the office is fixed. Okay, and the appointments which is made by the President of India, that is he or she, that is President of India, appoints the Chief Justice of India and the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court of the state, and appoints the Prime Ministers of India and other ministers on the advice of, okay, the Prime Minister, and he appoints the governors of the state also, and also the election commissioners and the ambassadors to other countries. And if we see different types of council of ministers, then the council of minister is the official name for the body that includes all the ministers. It usually has 60 to 80 ministers of different tasks. Okay, and in cabinet minister, that is top level leaders of the ruling party who are in charge of the major ministries. That is, cabinet is the inner ring of the council of ministers. Which comprises about 20 ministers. Okay, then if we see ministers of state with independent charges, they are usually in charge of smaller ministries, and they participate in the cabinet meeting only when specially invited. Okay, then it is ministers of states. Okay, that is the cabinet works as a team. No minister can openly criticize any decision of government, even if it is about another ministry or department. That is, every ministry has secretaries who are civil servants. So the secretaries provide the necessary background information to the ministers to take decisions. And if we see the powers of the minister, okay, powers of the minister, the Prime Minister is the most important political institution in the country, and the president appoints the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister does not have a fixed tenure. That is, he continues in power so long as remains the leader of the majority party. That is, he chairs cabinet meeting. Yeah, his decisions are final. In case of disagreements arises between department, then all ministers work under his leadership only, as he has the power to dismiss the ministers. Okay, and when the Prime Minister quits, the entire ministry quits. Okay, so if the cabinet is the most powerful institution in India, within the cabinet it is the Prime Minister who is the most powerful. Okay, so coalition government imposed certain constraint on the power of Prime Minister. That is, the Prime Ministers of the coalition government cannot take decision as he likes, and he has to accommodate different groups and factions in his party. Okay, and he also has to heed to the views and positions of the coalition partners and other parties on whose support the survival of the government depends. Okay,